What a year 2023 has been. So many games came out this year, so many in fact that I did not get to play a lot of the new releases. Even so, I wanted to look back at 5 of my favourite games that I managed to play this year. So with that, let's get started. And at number 5, I have Hogwarts Legacy. As somebody who grew up with Harry Potter, both the books and the movies, this game is something that I would have loved to have had as a child. And yes, I did previously play the Harry Potter games on the GameCube. Now, I do want to get it out of the way that I do not agree with many of the statements that the author of the original Harry Potter series has put out into the internet as of late. However, I'm just really sad that I feel like this had such a negative impact on this game when it did release and almost overshadowed its release in some respects. For me, I think the developers did such a fantastic job bringing the Hogwarts world to life in the video game. It was just so fun, especially when you first get the broom to ride. And honestly, if there's one game that should have been included in the Game of the Year nominations that was completely overlooked, it definitely was Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, they managed to even port this to the Nintendo Switch and get it running adequately, so it's still a fun game. It is just a wonderful game for any fans of the Harry Potter universe. At number 4, I have Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. This is a game that I honestly never thought that we would get, and as a rhythm game fan, I am so glad we got this one this year. It is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best rhythm games you can possibly play. Not only is it full of great music from Final Fantasy, over 300 songs worth, it also has DLC for songs from other Square Enix franchises, such as Nier and Octopath Traveler. The gameplay is also very satisfying, especially when you manage to chain your inputs together. A must play for rhythm game fans, although I'm sure most of you that enjoy this genre have played this one already. Coming in at number 3, I have Dave the Diver. This game looks unassuming, however the gameplay loop here is so addicting. The main essence of the game is you are Dave, who goes diving for ingredients to use in a restaurant at night. The diving segment has you spearfishing or using one of the few gun types to catch fish, and the restaurant segment has you serve dishes as a waiter. There is also roguelike elements where you can upgrade gear, and eventually you will also have access to a basic farming simulator. It is a very simple gameplay loop, but the brilliance comes in the injection of different events and minigames at what feels like perfect intervals in the game. I won't spoil too much, but one that is shown in the trailer is the rhythm game that you play as part of the story. It is out of place, yes, but it works and only increased my want to keep playing and see what would happen next. I really recommend everybody give this game a go. Very reasonably priced for the amount and quality of content in this game. Now number 2 may come as a surprise. It's a game I only started this month, and at only around 14 hours into the game, it has impressed me so much that I had to put it in the number 2 spot on this list. And that game is Baldur's Gate 3. The sheer level of detail in this game is amazing. Every interaction is voiced, and the animation matches the voicing. This is on every iteration of every interaction, which is insane to think about. The game is all about choices, and many players will only see certain choices. That means there could be some dialogue that only a very slim few will see, and yet it will be voiced and animated. You have to give it to the team, as it shows the passion they had for the game when they created it. Now the game isn't perfect, but it sure is fun so far. It's like a strategy kind of tabletop Dungeons and Dragons inspired game, and that may scare you off. There is a lot of menus. I've been playing on PlayStation 5 and actually found it fairly easy to navigate. I really like the fact that the game is about choices, and those choices have real consequences in game. It's a rarity almost these days for that to happen, so it's definitely been fun to play through. For those of you that watch this channel, it may not come as a surprise for what my game of the year in 2023 was. Also, if you can't judge from the t-shirt I'm wearing, it is a little bit of a spoiler, but my game of the year is Pikmin 4. As a fan of the franchise, it was a long wait for this game's release, and it delivered everything a fan could hope for and more. You have all the previous Pikmin and the introduction of the new Ice Pikmin. The gameplay keeps its simple formula of commanding the Pikmin to complete environmental puzzles and take treasures back to the spaceship. What I really loved about this game is after you finish the main story, a whole post-game story opens up. And it is huge. It almost doubles the game. They've also introduced these battles called Dandori, and Dandori are really fun timed missions that challenge the veteran players such as myself. However, they do make it easy enough to just pass these missions so that even if you are new to the franchise, you can still get through these challenges. Honestly, it is just such a well-crafted game, and if you've never tried Pikmin, I would 100% recommend trying Pikmin 4. It is the best Pikmin by far, and it will definitely, hopefully, bring some more fans to the franchise. Now, of course, there are many more games that could have been included on this list today. However, these are just my top 5 for the year in 2023. Make sure you write your top 5 down in the comments below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!